A new Primaris special character on the horizon. Here we have none other than Uriel Ventris, the captain of the 4th Company of the Ultramarines. Hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics, where today we're just talking about the news of the new model of Uriel Ventris. His new model was shown off in the Black Library preview the other day, and apparently people will be able to get their hands on the new model in February. I think at this point it's sort of inevitable that a lot of people are going to say, why do we need another Space Marine release? And I think it is pretty obvious that they don't need as much support as some of the other factions who have gone a long time without releases, particularly as we're still waiting on a release of a Primaris captain with a power sword, that heavy intercessor style one, the one with the mastercrafted heavy bolt rifle. To be honest though, I think that the Black Library miniatures are working on a bit of a different release schedule to anything that Games Workshop Standard is doing, and I'd see this one as a bit more of a fun and fluffy release as opposed to any core miniature for the army. So far for Black Library, I believe we've had Eisenhorn, Severina Rain the Commissar, Valerian and Alea the Custodians and Sisters of Silence characters, so I think this might actually be the first Black Library Space Marine character that they've released in quite some time. I'll be honest, I do think that they've done pretty well with the model. I really like that cloak, and I do quite like the way that they've made the heraldry of the 4th Company work. Those green shoulder pads in combination with the cloak look really cool, I think. It's not really the easiest task in the world to have blue and green sitting next to each other and make the whole thing look good. I think they've also done a pretty good job of being able to balance between excessive ornamentation and keeping him looking fairly functional. So generally a good job on the part of the sculptors, I think. Uriel Ventris is the captain of the Ultramarines 4th Company, and apparently he's recently crossed the Rubicon Primaris in one of Graham McNeil's most recent books about him. He's going to be featuring in a book called Swords of Calth, which is the latest in his Black Library series, and apparently is focused on his command squad getting out of a sticky situation. I can't say I've read the series myself, I'm afraid, but it must feel pretty epic to have one of your characters rendered in plastic in quite such a cool way. As per the preview video, apparently it's coming in February 2021. We don't know whether it's a limited release yet, or whether he'll be here to stay, much like Valerian and Alea seem to be. I would estimate he's going to cost something around £24 or $35 just based on the other previous Primaris characters. Could be a little more, could be a little less, though if anything probably a little bit more knowing Games Workshop. Rules wise, I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. I'm pretty sure he will have rules for Warhammer 40k, likely in his own datasheet that comes in the box. He appears to be armed with a power sword, which I'm sure will be a mastercrafted one, so likely strength 5 damage 2, and as best I can tell that just looks like a standard bolt gun, though obviously very ornate, most likely a mastercrafted variant as well, with at least a damage characteristic of 2, and maybe some other boosted stats on top of that. I'll be honest though, my hopes aren't enormously high for him being a massively competitive model. He's going into a really contested niche. Space Marines have absolutely tons of captains to choose from, including things like the new Indomitus captain, the Gravis captain, and to make matters worse, he's going to be locked to Ultramarines, which as we know have an absolute ton of special characters already. You're not just going to have to compare him against the regular characters, you'll also have to be weighing him up against things like Chaplain Cassius, Chief Librarian Tugurius, Marnius Calgar, and a rival captain in Cato Sicarius. I think he's going to need something pretty meaningful to stand out amongst this crowd. Just a little bit of extra leadership buffing or something really isn't going to cut it. If I had to guess, I suspect that he's going to have limited value as any sort of competitive model, and he'll probably see a bit more use as a fun and fluffy addition to an army, or just a really cool looking display piece. So look forward to reading your thoughts on the miniature down in the comments below, particularly if you're an Ultramarines player. If you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics. We certainly try and keep ahead of the 40k news as it comes out, so feel free to subscribe or check back if you'd like to see more. Finally, if you have been enjoying my videos, I would just like to mention that I do have an Element Games affiliate link, which is down in the video description. If you live in the UK and were thinking about buying some Warhammer at a discount anytime soon, they're an excellent third-party seller within the UK, and if you click on the link in the video description, a small amount of the money goes to help support Auspex Tactics without costing you any more whatsoever. Can just be a way to help support the channel if you were thinking about buying some miniatures anyway. There's a very similar link for Amazon in the USA and Canada. Again, if you just click on the link and order whatever you were thinking of buying through Amazon, a small amount goes to help support the channel and doesn't cost you any more. A big thank you to you guys who have been using those, it really does help keep the channel going. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.